And now we're live.
I do it every time. Like, look at, woo, look at, woo, look at, woo. Okay. Welcome to Embracing the Wild. I'm Abby Pagood.
And this is Audra Watley.
This is Audra Watley.
It is the Audra.
Snack dealers, unite!
Ah.
Oh, I lost my thing. Just kidding. Hi, welcome back. Woohoo!
I followed your hand. It was like, wait, where's the snack?
Well, because all of these fun new AI like things that are going on, I have a little AI camera. So if I go over here, it'll follow me. If I go over there, it'll follow me or whatever. And then it's fun. I don't have to do that. But then when the children, well, they are in the background and they're going, to the kitchen. Sometimes the head tracks them. So if I'm recording a podcast, they're miserable. And then they're like, I don't want to know. And so then you see Kai put a blanket over his head and then he'll do like an inchworm on the ground. Because that's normal. But let's face it, everything that is basically connected to me is not normal. So we're good.
All good. All good.
Yeah. So how has life been now that it's been like 3 years and a day that we haven't recorded?
I don't know what the heck is happening, but I'm just gonna say shit's transforming.
It no longer has a circular type of poo directional pattern of a triangle. So the shit emoji needs to change because it's all smeared everywhere and everything. It's like a toddler with a very messy diaper. And welcome to the real world now.
Yeah. Something like that. And time has sped up so much that it's kind of like I can't even like hear myself think before the next day is here. And I'm like, wait, what happened to Friday? Wait, what day is it? I don't even know what day it is.
It's Saturday. It's not Friday. It's Saturday.
Okay. I'm like, what happened to Friday?
Yeah. No, I don't even know how I really got through this week. And then all of a sudden someone told me, I was like, oh, it's okay. It's only the 4th. I have plenty of time. And then I looked down and it was like, oh shit. So how did I lose 5 days? 5 days are completely gone. But it is what it is. But I guess that's appropriate because it is the fire horse year. It is we're hitting some massive planetary alignments that have never been done in our lifetime and actually continue to not be a thing possibly ever again for another couple thousand years or something. So what do we do? I don't even really know.
Yeah, it's like by the time I've read those and thought about them for a while and posted about them, I'm on to the next thing. And so this week, it's like today specifically, it's all about synchronicities. It's like the 1111, the 222s, the, double digit, triple digit, whatever is showing up.
All the things.
Yeah, all the things like that. And so this week, I think it was... and I'm going to be wrong if I say it just because that's how far gone it is. Wednesday, something, I think it was Neptune. No.
Yeah.
Pluto retrograde. That's what it was.
Yeah. Because it went from, and then Uranus did something, and I can't remember what it was, but
my anus stayed right where it was, but Uranus.
Rudy and I had an argument about that the other day. I'm like, we're like, is this part of the Mandela effect to where what I remember and what is actually happening are two completely different things? And he's like, I learned Uranus. And I was like, I learned Uranus also. But apparently, because I started saying Uranus and he goes, I'm sorry, that is not accurate. It's like, that is not what I learned. And I was like, no, dear, it is not a Mandela effect. That's apparently how it was supposed to be pronounced the entire fucking time. We just tomato. Like,
yeah. Although you won't catch me saying tomato.
Why?
Yeah. You might catch me saying mater.
Later.
Mater. Instead of a tomato. Can you not hear me now?
I heard you. I just don't understand what you're talking about.
Mater.
I don't. These are country words that I have not been raised with because.
Yeah, I forget.
I need some explanation.
Tomato? Tomatoes?
Oh. No, see, to me, that just says
Oh, come on,
taters
you're
and
thinking
it reminds me of
you're
tater
thinking like
tots.
stars.
No, I like think of tater tots. Like that's just what I'm thinking. Tater tots. Like you say maters, I think taters, like tater tots. But that's also because I have potato addiction problems. And we
I
already
see what you're
know this.
saying. This is your potato addiction problem because,
I have a massive potato addiction problem.
maters and taters, same family.
Yeah. Honestly, I'm the snack dealer for Christ's sake. Like, of course, get me some fucking taters. Like, what's with it? Let me tell you, I cannot tell you how fast everything is just catapulting, going one thing after the next, change after the next. Like it's like every single week there actually no, scratch that. It's not every single week, it's every single effing day. Like every single day there is something massive. And the one thing I'm noticing is that if you are not caretaking for yourself and your sanity, you better start doing it because I don't know how you're not gonna get somewhere with attached to your body. Like
yeah,
we don't need any dismemberment in this studio.
Yeah,
I'm just saying.
I think that that's really like probably the key of it is that, it's like there's a lot, it's become the new buzzword, embodiment. But here's the reality. It's like as our spirits and our souls or whatever, it's like the more that we expand in consciousness, the less tethered we are if we don't make an effort to embody that expansion.
So well said. I can't even really add to that. Like other than making snide remarks and witty banter because I make up words for a living. But
like, yeah, that.
Well, I mean, and I ended up we had so many different things happening in the last, I don't know how many weeks. And, just even 3 weeks ago, 3.5-ish weeks ago, I don't remember what alignment had come through, but like even that day, I had like a profound energetic shift of like, okay, let's go to the next level. Even Kai had some really good growth points that were showing me that, little man is becoming a little man, like type of thing, because he was starting to grasp some understandings, at that 9 years old, like the logic setting in and then maturity is setting in. And then you've got all these different things that are shifting for him. And so what I really loved is I'm seeing this profound growth with him just 3 or 4 days before. My husband in itself had been on a massive, that would be the word, transitional period of identifying how he wants to choose to live his life, like pace, flow, energy dynamic, even as it's like he totally has hit the fuck at 50s. Like, I don't want to deal with this anymore. This is where my boundaries need to lie. And then finding out like work is not really in alignment with that. And I need to figure out what's next, but also at the same time, not ready to make a move, but at least wanted to say like from, January to April, like January to his birthday, let's see what that looks like, like in a window, let me start exploring different options, etc. And then, okay, so 3 of us in the house. And then here you've got Leo, who's she'll be a senior next year. So she's starting to think next level. So she's, focusing on testing and scores and like beginning some of that college searching, exploring type of thing. And with all of those changes, like within the house, the dog dies. Like, boom, like Nui, our Great Dane, our beautiful, vibrant, horse-sized dog, just heart stopped, just boom. Like after spending 3 hours straight chasing squirrels with her pack, she comes inside and I hear her panting and she's like, like, but like, that's normal for her. Like she would always come in, stick her head right by my face, pant right in there. And I'm like, basically have to take a pillow and hide myself so that she stops panting in my face. And then I'm just like, okay, go catch your breath. Like I'll be up in a second. And, and right then and there, like, I guess it was her time. And so then it was, Rudy having to figure, Rudy walks in the room. He's about to kiss me and go off to fishing. And like, he trips over her just like he notoriously does, and then pats her on the chest and is like, "Sorry, Nui. Like I saw you there. Just like you're so big. You're like I forget to step over you properly." And then next thing you know, he went down. He's like, "Sorry, Nui." Just classic. And then she was gone. And so then it was, holy shit, how do you get a 130-pound dog out of the house? Like from upstairs.
Yeah.
And that was a trauma in itself that I did not anticipate. And I even said to Rudy, as soon as we got her in, like hoisted her, got her downstairs into the car so we could be able to bring her to the vet. I'm walking. I could not look at my husband in the face. I was like determined, and I like walked inside, and he's right behind me. And I just said, out of all the shit you put me through in the last couple of years, the last thing I thought I was going to have to deal with was a dead body. So there you go.
I was going to say it.
Anybody needs any assistance, funny. I know what to do.
Like, not funny, but funny. Yeah, you wrap it up in a sheet and drag the sheet downstairs.
But the huge thing is it made profound, like the conversation that transpired after that. Like, it's like we drive Nui to the vet, we get her all checked in and taken care of. We get checked out, because, ordering the paw prints and things of that nature. And then of course, Kai's like, where was her first pup cup? And then I said, I think it was Dunkin' Donuts. So he's like, I want to go to Dunkin' Donuts. So we all got in the car, and I was like, man, I thought this was a first watch type of thing. Like, mama needs a mimosa now, like type of thing. And then next thing you know, and then like Leo and Rudy are like, actually, I could do first watch. Like, so we went to Dunkin' Donuts first, got little snackages, and then went straight to, first watch, and like had like a whole, grieving celebration, like party just as a family. But the conversations that literally ensued with my son was incredible because, he's still dealing with the grief aspect, but then it gave me the opportunity to basically be able to have the conversation about how when our loved ones leave us, especially when they're like familiars, animals that are really close to us, I was like, that is them giving us permission to stand on our own 2 feet, because the service that their purpose has hit their end. They're like, you can carry on. I don't need to sit here and support your ass anymore. Like, it's time for you to blossom and grow, even though we get skittish and we don't want to step into it, because it's like we still love our babies and we get attached to them. No different than like a baby blanket. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody still has their blanket tucked under their, underwear, right? I'm just saying. But like, like that's kind of what it was. I was thinking of a movie where somebody always did that, and they had it and they would rub it every time. I can't remember what the movie is, and it won't come to me. But it was that exact conversation that I could finally have with my son. That was, wow, hear him learning that transition, how yes, life comes to an end, but at the same time it had purpose, it had value, and it's giving you permit. Like, look at the profound growth that you've had. It's ready to hit that next level, next phase of your life, and where you're going to go with it.
Yeah. I really think that, we're given pets with shorter lives so that we can prepare ourselves for down the road when it's not a pet. Because it's like, I think probably one of the deepest traumas is losing someone unexpectedly that is very close to you.
Yeah.
And even if it's expected, right? Even if it's expected and you've walked the whole journey with them, and they're, in their 80s, grief is still very real for so many people.
Grief sucks balls, man.
It is.
Grief sucks balls.
I think grief is probably one of the hardest emotions. And, it's like once you've had that first, like, really deep grief experience, it's like everything after that just kind of like reopens the wound, it seems like.
Yeah.
So, it's actually a really beautiful process to be able to walk through that with somebody under the right circumstances.
Well, and the cool thing is that the people that you least expect show up for you in odd ways, either saying something, like my favorite thing to do at a funeral. I'm a weird person that actually enjoys funerals, not the service and the ceremony, but like the I like the wakes, or I like the ceremonies after, because you get to see the person that you cared about through the lens of everybody else, and kind of, you hear stories of how they saw the other person, and then you get to hear like just really impactful stories that made a difference in their lives, but things you've never heard about. So it's like the bizarrest things, and you're like, man, I didn't know them that way. That's crazy cool. So I really love, I'm that deranged person that loves loves me a funeral. Like not like the ceremony, because those are awful. Like walking into that as like an empath and picking up on all the emotions. Oh God, that's like nails on a chalkboard, like make me vomit. I don't want to be here type of environment. But I really love like the aftermath of those types of things. And then also it's like you get to see people, that you haven't seen in a while, but you don't necessarily get to do that when it comes to like when you're losing an animal, etc. But I found that all the grief emotions came back up for me after Nui passed, because we got her right after my grandfather had passed. And that was a rough, like, you remember me during that time. Like, I don't even remember those 2 years, like, of like the grief that, like, I don't even remember. I know I worked. I know I saw people. I know I had conversations, and I know I got up on stages and talked. I don't remember what the fuck I said, because I was already in my haze of processing. But Nui was we got her in November. It was shortly after my grandfather had passed in August. So just even, she helped me get out of bed, man. Like, she helped me function. She helped me, like, oh, there's a new baby. You got to take care of him. Even though my son was 2, but he was more functional. She was my kind of like, I don't know, she's kind of like my ride or die in the animal nature, to keep me accountable. And then on top of it, like, you can't ignore her because she's a freaking horse, like, for Christ's sake.
She was a
Like,
really sweet girl.
oh my God. She was my like dainty little princess and she was Miss Dignified of all the things. So, I mean, she was freaking amazing. But I don't know. But I feel like, do you notice that a lot of people are like facing a lot of grief aspects right now?
That's a good question. I haven't heard as much right now, but really over the years, I mean, like everybody, it's like everybody's hit by grief somewhere. And
I feel like there's a lot of like the transitioning of grieving, like the last version of the self, because they're going into a new version of themselves. And like do you notice how, last year everything was a 9 year, now it's a 1 year. So it's like everyone's revamping, reinventing, rebirthing themselves. And then it's like, this is the year of trial and error. Like, let's see what works and let's see what doesn't work, and what's in alignment and what isn't in alignment. And then it's like everybody's doing something. There's just a lot of moving pieces.
there are a lot of moving pieces right now. And I don't think that that's going to slow down or calm down for another year or two. I think this year is the year to like you said, trial and error. What's going to work for me now? Because what's worked for me in the past is no more.
That's fair.
Yeah.
It's fair. Like, and if we don't evolve and we don't decide, if we don't make the choices to kind of jump in and, I don't know, face truth, then truth is going to find us and make those decisions for us in some way, shape, or form. I mean, I don't really know how to phrase that.
Yeah, I think that, we're just at a space right now where you have a choice of becoming the author of your own life or having life dictate who, where, when, what, all the other stuff. And so it's really a great time to step into that authority, and really even understand what that is for you. Like, how does that speak to you? How does it come in for you? Those pieces. And that's what I've been working on lately is, literally, I've set up a class for the end of the month that is here. I don't know if it shows anything. Authentically You.
Authentically You, reclaiming your authority. A live class on move your shoulder. on self-trust, human design and authority, the 5 bodies, energetic, emotional, mental, spiritual. I missed one because I think it's behind your name. And then stop overwriting yourself. Start trusting your inner knowing.
Yeah.
Did we commercial? We did commercial.
Yeah, I think it was commercial me. Woohoo! I am commercial. Ta-da! And it just came up and ta-da!
Well, and if a lot of people don't actually notice, wait, I got to point the other direction. You have a different title, right?
Is it
So
on this side now?
it's right here. I'm pointing to it. Do you not see me pointing to it?
I see you pointing to it.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
when I do that, it looks like I'm pointing to it.
tell people what this is.
So Betwixt is a community on School. So if you go to school.com and look up Betwixt, that is the new community. It is a free community, and we talk about all of the deep, crazy stuff. Everything from how to, it's not even a how to, it's not about learning as much as it is just like tips and tricks on finding yourself within yourself, because good Lord knows we have buried some of it deep.
Yeah. Well, and it's funny, like I love that you're diving in a totally different direction. Like so you have your community that you're starting. I have my community that I'm starting, but we're taking 2 totally different what I don't know what you call it. I don't know why I got the bullhorns picture in my brain, but stop.
I don't do bullhorns. I don't do bullhorns.
No, I know. I don't do bulls in general.
Yeah, they're very different directions. And so
you're incorporating the human design, how you're made, what we're facing, and really having that dive in internal. I'm kind of like, mine is kind of like, okay, like keeping on to like weekly releases to kind of create the support, the reflection, even guided meditations, and also next level healers coming on, so that it like teaches you more self-care practices that you may not be exposed to, type of thing. And then both of us are creating our own master classes in a sense. Like obviously same different approach, where mine are focusing on like really getting to just the beginning basics of intuition, awareness, like how to unravel certain constructs to which we kind of have been trained to be functioning by, where you're focusing on how we are made, how our human design is made, the more advanced understanding, advanced leveling. But it, like mind fucking blowing, because I mean, I've been grateful to be your friend forever, and it hasn't been forever, but I feel like it has been.
It has, yeah, it's been a long time. So the whole reason I created Betwixt is like literally for the people that have been doing that sort of work that you're talking about, you know, the personal growth and development, like all of this stuff for years and years and years, and yet there's still something where you feel like
it's not right.
It's just not there. Like you just can't quite take that step to the next leap. You feel like you're in the in between, which Betwixt is literally just an old school word for the between. So being in between. And I think that
what was the word you taught me the actual meaning of the other day? Oh, vagina. Remember that one? but just tell the definition, so I don't just look like a freak that's just screaming penis and vaginas everywhere. Like
your face just turned the same color as your chair back there. That's pretty good. I
never blush either, unless I'm with you, and then I say shit, and then I'm like, "Fuck me."
So the original meaning of the word was that it was a sheath for a sword. And I was like, I'm just gonna call it something else. I don't know what the something else is, but you know, some women have gone to saying yoni. I don't know, YONI. And I'm like, I don't know that I like that either. I'm like, yoni. But
like half of women in their marriages. Are you done yet?
So yeah, I don't know what to call it, but I'm done with the whole like sheath for a sword. Stick your sword in the
no. Well, and it really gets you going on placements. I'm just saying. Like okay, sorry. Continue. Yeah. We're going to continue. Stop talking about vaginas and penises, and we're going to go on and talk about authentically you.
Authentically you. I don't even know. Yeah, I was going to say, and you just got authentically us more than you probably ever wanted. But these are the things that we say off screen.
Well, the problem is like, so when I do the Capital Life, I'm kind of filtered, man. Like I'm got other people on. I'm trying to make sure I represent the person. But then here, I get to play. I get to play with my bestie, and then we get to say things. And actually, when you do, like when we go out, when the AAAs go out, I mean, I say this shit all the time. Like, this is how I am. Like, and I can't hide it. Like, so I'm trying to be authentically me. Like,
Yeah. Authentically me. Yeah.
yes.
So, yeah, there'll be more.
Reclaiming my authority and awesomeness.
Claiming your authority and awesomeness. Beautiful.
I try.
Yeah. Did you want me to say something else?
I don't really know. I don't know where the conversation. As soon as we went into the sheath of the sword, I got lost tracked. Like
I was going to say, I'm still reeling that you went there and that how pink you turned by doing so. It was pretty awesome.
Actually, have I ever turned that pink before? I don't really think
I have not seen you embarrass yourself like that before.
Okay. Okay, I didn't think I had either. Then I realized I was like, wow, I'm really getting rosy. But so speaking of embarrassing conversations, so my son the other day, like he's playing VRs and he's doing all of the, like the video gaming, and then, because this world, like, it's not like the 80s where you used to actually play with somebody sitting side by side and you get through the frustrations and you do all the different things. Like the VR headset is like, there's talking to random people. Their video games is just, it's new age, man. Like you're playing with random people. But I will tell you that this next generation, their language is insane. Like constantly just saying derogatory things, knocking people down. I mean, a whole bunch of freaking keyboard warriors. There's no question about it. So here, my son actually brings up to us like the other day, and he's saying to me like, Mom, when can I swear? When can I swear? And then it started dawning on me, oh crap, I swear like a sailor. I might have to start monitoring and censoring like how much verbiage is coming out of my mouth if I'm trying to like make sure he's not going into swear love languaging.
It's a little late to start now.
Yeah, I know. I'm actually surprised that my kids don't swear more because of how I do. But the thing is that this is when he immediately was like, Mom, when can I swear? And I'm like, dude, it's not, we don't talk like that. We don't need to be going that direction. And these are the philosophies why, etc. So we're watching this movie, and it was like Spy Kids 3, the one with Jessica Alba. I miss her. She was freaking, she was awesome. She was funny. She was pretty. She was like, she made rom-coms, right? And then like all of a sudden she like disappeared. I don't know. She went and had a family or like actually made a business that was productive. So like, but I there was this moment where all of a sudden one of the girls, like the Vega girl, was making like her little cameo, and she was trying to do something and couldn't, but she's like an adult now. She's like, oh, shiitake mushrooms. And I was like, oh my God, that's a great idea. If we used food references for swear words in substitute. So then all of a sudden I'm in the kitchen and I'm cutting dinner and I just go, frozen potatoes. And then Kai like immediately is like, what? And I was like, what if we use food reference words instead of swearing? And then he goes, strawberries. And then next thing you know, we're playing back and forth for like at least 30 minutes to 45 minutes before bedtime. Like he would say something, I would say something. He would say something, I would say something. So guess what is coming to Capital Health Shop? We're making t-shirts. So like you can have a shirt that says, strawberries, or one that says silly grape, or being like, you acorn. Like, because I'm like so excited about this on so many levels. So we're going to like do different color shirts. But like, if you just walk across and you see if you literally just saw deranged pumpkin on a t-shirt, would you not be like, oh my God, that's so funny. And where can I get one?
I don't know. I would be like, deranged pumpkin.
Yes. Or you matcha my latte.
You matcha
my latte. I'm just saying, like, so I came up with all of these ones, and they are coming to you at the Capital Health Shop in like real time. I'm just excited about it. I'm just like, I
Yeah.
am stoked. But it was a really cool way for me, and it was like my son was like the creative of it, and he kept coming back with me, and the two of us, and it was like, you know what? How else, if you have like a child that's having an entrepreneur spirit, why not back them with showing that you can take their ideas to the next level? And how cool would that be if like this is something that's just a side hustle thing that could actually do something with it. So especially his age generation, because they got that Italian brain rot thing. So like the Italian brain rot is they play off of words, and then like cocobadillo, like, or whatever. And I don't even know what the words are. It escapes me. But at the same time, like all of this next generation, they're playing off of words. They're saying random things. Like, why would you not have cool hats like snack dealer? I'm just saying. I'm really excited about this.
Awesome. You need to set up like a college fund that's like 10% of sales go to Kai.
I'm thinking probably a higher percentage. Like I'm probably thinking like 60-40 cut. Like, because it would, if it wasn't for his existence, this idea would not come into play. And then I was also thinking like, oh, that makes sense, because Capital Health is like food, like fitness, nutrition, energy healing, like all these different focuses. And I'm like, oh my God, this fits into play off of words. So yeah.
Cool. Fun.
I know.
I mean, it's like, I think that we are finally stepping into a world where we can be all of ourselves. And when I say that we can be all of ourselves, I mean, like, I am so over and beyond you have to niche down, you have to pick one specific thing, you have to, because that's what I've heard in marketing for decades. And I'm like, okay, if niches were fishes, little fishies in the ocean, and this fish is that health condition, and this fish is that health condition, and this fish is this, and this is fitness fish, and this is that fish, and all of that sort of stuff. I'm like, I have been studying the water my whole life.
Yeah.
How the heck am I supposed to pick a fish?
Well, when I hear that generic, like, oh yeah, pick your niche, whatever it is, I just go, blow me. Like, that sounds boring. Because I'm sorry, but like, if I were just focusing on one thing, talking about it all the time, number one, that is not my character, because I'm a freaking Looney Tune. I'm just Sam. Like, I mean, I'm always all over. Like, I mean, I'm very, ironically, as much as I'm a spaz, I am actually hyperly organized, right? Like, I'm extreme. I mean, that I'm, out of the two of us, I'm like psychotically organized. The type A is there, but it is that I'm a creative being. I'm a creative being that loves ideas. I like, my brain loves curiosity. I like asking questions. I like discovering things. To tell me just to do one things, F you. Like, I want to do more. I want to live a life of entertainment. I want to live a life of exploration. I want to see what ideas fit, which ones work, which ones don't. And I think that if we minimize and limit ourselves, then we're doing ourselves a disservice, because we're not exploring. And isn't the whole point of Earth School to explore? Like, isn't that the whole point, is to learn about emotions, experiences, also, regardless of if it puts us through like hard times? The whole point is the exploration and the experience. Let's have some fun with it. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
But tomato.
Tomato. Taters.
That might have to be the name of the show, actually, not Snack Attack Dealers Unite. Like,
You tomato, taters.
Dude, I love me some tater tots, man.
God,
why do they have to be so scrumptiously good, and the crispy outside with the gooey inside, and then why? Why do potatoes have to not be my friend?
I don't know.
Oh, that's another t-shirt we're gonna have. It's gonna say Happy Potato.
Happy Potato. Okay.
Yes.
Beautiful. Who doesn't want a Happy Potato shirt?
Okay, so old wise one.
Yes.
Where are we going next? What is next for our exploration and growth?
Um, hey, when I get there, I'll let you know. I like seriously, it's like I sit down probably the middle of the month and I go through and I look at human design, I look at astrology, I look at what's coming for the month and
Mhm.
I basically, batch my stuff for the month. And so I know what's going on in May and that's as far as I
May.
got. So
Yeah.
May is really all about like, learning about what it is to stand in your authority. And I'm not saying that just from a personal place or human design authority. I'm really talking about like this is what's going to be on the global stage, like around the world. It's like people are starting to question what's been considered authority figures. You're already seeing this, like this has been going on for a while now. It's not new,
Right.
but then something new emerging from that, like
Yeah.
something much deeper of being like, okay, so, are we talking balancing of yin and yang where the feminine energy is rising up and being like, we're not doing this anymore? Are we talking about, what else does that look like? What other um, masculine dominated things are going to fall?
Right, because they're not in alignment anymore. So like in my notes for my community, I've got expression and possibility in May. Even sun transits, we're hitting direction, assimilation, contribution, presence. And my theme for the month is voices of becoming, because it's really like you're saying, it's about like standing into your authority. It's like finding your voice and speaking that truth for what it is for you, and being able to express it and being able to expand yourself into what is next, which lo and behold, why do you think everyone's like changing jobs, changing careers, changing relationships, changing all of these stuff? Because the old shit just isn't working anymore.
Well, and I'm going to add to that by saying that, it's like I went back and I looked at like what is the source root? What was the beginnings of those words? And the beginning words are that authority, author, all of those things came from are it's along the lines of coming from source, right? So it's
100%.
like, when it truly comes from source, and I don't mean you're like reaching out and grabbing it everywhere else and bringing it in. I'm talking about like your source within you and then bringing it out, right? And so it was just a really interesting deep dive, and I can't wait to put all of the pieces together for people. But at the same time, like we will continue to see from here forward, like if it's not really aligned with you, like you do it, you probably may even be really good at it. You could have even been doing it for years and years and years. I'm talking about careers or whatever. And then things just seem to be falling apart. And the reason that they're falling apart is that it's not a full expression of you. And
Full expression is the most important thing that you just said. Full expression of you, right? Because I have been, I have a certain role when it comes to dealing with my like aunts and uncles, right? Like my extended family, and I'm not fully seen. And then it's like I have amazing clients that I work with, but I've spent my entire career, and it still will for most part when it comes to like my one-on-ones and coaching and things like that. But I mold myself to the client needs, not like, but the future work that I'm doing, it's reestablishing so that I'm seen fully as I am, how I methodically speak, randomly about penises and vaginas, like we did earlier. If you missed it, rewind. It was funny. But like, like I might turn
if
you around
nothing
again.
else, Abby Bush.
But it's about really stepping into what that next version is. And it's funny because I started seeing glimpses of a couple people that were doing that. They were starting to step into things they enjoyed, like they enjoyed. Now that doesn't necessarily mean that I'm going to follow them, because some people are stepping into that next version, and it's like, oh, it doesn't mean that you're going to, you might see some separation and some friendships, connections, except was it Tuk Tuk? Were you laughing because Tuk Tuk's going berserk? Okay. But there's the, like, some people are stepping into that next version of themselves. They're fully stepping into more of exposing, like, not exposing, because it's not, it's more of finally unveiling the portion that you didn't necessarily see. But sometimes you're not going to like what that turns out to be. And that might be a time where, hey, our time together was fun, but I kind of liked you the old way, and good luck to you. I'm so excited for you. You do you, boo. But like, I'm splitting because I enjoyed the old version. Like, and that's going to happen. I mean, it's going to happen. I mean, there's this one person, I can't remember what his name is for the life of me, but you know, he basically had a niche that people saw him and knew him as, and then he broke out and he started singing and dancing and whatever, and he lost like half his audience because you know, he might have gained more people on that aspect because they like seeing him that way, but he ended up losing a lot of people because they didn't like seeing him that way. And that's okay, because it's about our embodiment and our coming to our next path, not, you know, only showing a pinky of who we are and what we want to be.
Yeah. And I think, you know, even in that story, it's like, I think that the more that AI comes online and the more that we have like this homogenation of languaging and all of this stuff, it's like we're really looking for the humanity in things.
Mm-hmm.
So things that show up as performance, things that show up as not true expression itself, people are getting more sensitive to, ooh, I just don't, I don't want to do that anymore. I can't do
It's
that
not
anymore. I
authentic.
don't want
It's
to do
not
that.
real.
It's like, I
Right.
don't, yeah. I was gonna say, and so you've got everybody, you know, seems to be claiming themselves an empath these days. I think some people are, and I think some people are just finally going, oh, I actually have sensitivity beyond, you know, this
Like they're
physical
waking up
thing
finally to
here.
their gifts. Right.
Yeah. And, you know, some of them it's like actually much deeper, and others it's just that they're finally getting to a place of energetic awareness, where the energy is just so different and they don't know what to do with it. And that's okay. I mean, it's like, I think that as humans, the more that we expand into whatever it is that we are next, because I think that, you know, even though our physical bodies are not evolving, I think that our spiritual bodies, our spiritual self is in a deep state of evolution right now. And it has been really for the last 20 years, but there's something that's just kind of hit critical mass in the last 7, right? The last 7 to
Yeah.
10. And so there's all of these people that are kind of coming online really quick, and they're like, oh, I feel everything. And I'm like, well, yes. And it's like getting that grounded into you to where you can go, oh, that piece is mine. That piece is not mine.
Right.
You know,
Because some people don't even have the identification awareness of being able to differentiate. Look, I had to slow it down. I said it this week. I tried to say that word 3 times this week and it didn't work. But it is being able to differentiate between like what's mine, what's theirs, and then ooh, I have feelings. There's been a couple of people I've had conversations with of I pointed out a couple of things to them, and then when their face is kind of like fog in headlights where they're like I don't know if I have that, or I don't know if I'm aware of that. And I'm just like, that just shows how disconnected you've been to yourself, because it's like it's getting back to what do I think, what do I want, how do I feel, what are my like where's my choice, my freedom, my truth in this. And it's not recreating truth. Like I hate the term like what is it? Create your reality. Like I hate that, like that word. I hate that phrase. I also don't like the perception is reality. Like just all of these different types of things. I'm like, no, that's you basically copping out and not holding accountability, still playing in some of your victimhood mentality, not owning up to like what you're really facing. You're just putting a whole bunch of whatever masks in, and you're just avoiding dealing with the deeper internal. And it's like we've got shit to do, man. Like I mean, if we're gonna really live our best life, if we're gonna live like authentically ours and do the things we want to do, let's get connected. And it's like, I know it's vulnerable, I know it makes you feel a little uneasy because it's vulnerability. Vulnerability is not always fun, especially when you're like a, you know, regimented person. Vulnerability sucks and can suck, like, but it doesn't have to. It doesn't have to suck.
Yeah. And that I address all of those things in this. And I did that because we really think of authority as we've been programmed to believe it as like jumping on the stage like a rock star and showing your best life. I mean, you even said like, how do you live your best life? This sort of stuff. And the reality is, it's like when you get really grounded in your true authentic self, and you know yourself to be the author of your life, which I know you were just saying, create your reality. It's kind of like that. But the difference is that you have this really grounded sense of peace that you're like, I really don't care what other people think, because this is just my truest expression of me. And it doesn't come from a defensive place. It doesn't come from a reactive place. It doesn't come from, a knee-jerk emotional reaction. There's like no emotion left in it, because it's just, this is truth.
Yeah. Everybody stop acting like a bunch of deranged pumpkins.
She said that.
Yeah, I brought that back in. Oh my gosh. Well, okay. I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think if I even have any more stories from like all the world. No, actually, I think I've got everything.
Yeah, like a month ago when we said we were going to start this again, you had one and then you didn't tell me. And so I don't know if you've told me since, or if you just like were holding on to it and now I've forgotten it. But I think we're probably good.
No, that was the frozen potatoes and the deranged pumpkin.
Okay.
That was the big major one. And then I love the fact that some of the profound conversations that I've been having with my 9-year-old are writing my book. Like, it is literally writing like my parent book and really starting to shape that up. Like, I ended up having a conversation, and immediately after that conversation with him 2 months ago, I sat down and wrote 5 pages, and within that 5 pages that I wrote, almost each paragraph transpired a chapter. And I was like, and so like I put in a quote like, oh, this will address this in this chapter. This will address this in this chapter. And so my brain was just like going. So it's like, we've got our communities that are coming. We've got like, our websites, like our landing page, like we've got so many things that we are doing still separately and not together. This is the only thing we really do together. But at the same time, I think that's going to really start lighting up what's next. And then, eventually it'll be retreats and other fun things and, all the awesome. So you and I are both getting our ducks in a row so that we can have more expansive offerings for the future for people around us. And I'm pretty sure that if we're already doing like the internal work, because I know that, I did a journaling prompt. Created a journaling prompt the other day, and then holy crap, I basically wrecked myself a new one because of the journaling prompt that I created. Because then when I dove into it, I was like, so I actually ended up doing a quadruple, so that it was not just the experience, but then also they lived embodiment, and then to the next step for change, and then future transitional. So it was like, it hit like a freaking quadruple decker, right? It was the Big Mac of journaling prompts, not that anyone should eat a Big Mac. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Yuck.
Oh my God. Did you know that Whataburger is like one of the worst burger meats out there? I just saw a thing on it. Yeah, it was talking about the worst restaurants that provide like burgers, and the number one things, it was Whataburger. And I was like in shock. And then like Wendy's was like 3rd or 4th or something. And then there was like a couple places I didn't know, like, and then Checkers, I hadn't heard of Checkers. And like, I was like, I thought that was 1980. Like, where's there a Checkers? Like,
so, I don't know that I've eaten at a Checkers ever.
I don't think I've ever been at it. I've seen them in the past when I was probably 5.
Yeah.
Like, but
I don't know where those are. But
yeah, I thought that was pretty funny. But
Somebody had said that to me years ago, so that's probably not new information, but I mean, if you're from Texas, like Whataburgers are crack. I mean, you'll drive back 2 states just to come home to get one.
yeah. Well, I've only had the pleasure like once. And the funny thing is like I'm a sucker for mustard, man. Like mustard is my jam. Like I prefer that. Like ketchup, who needs ketchup? Like that doesn't make any sense. It's just a whole bunch of sugar. And I mean, it even drizzles out like it's an asshole anyway. So, like
Gross.
it's not fun. I wasn't going that far, but okay, whatever. Anyway, but I'm just saying mustard's my jam. Like I love mustard. Mustard's awesome. And so I had never heard of Whataburger when we moved here. And then when we went to Whataburger, I was like, oh, what is this? And then it was like the signature is the mustard. And I was like, normal people live here. Like, thank God I'm with my kind. Like,
Yeah, they don't do lettuce burgers though. I mean, like putting the
I
lettuce wrap.
know.
So
Why?
I don't go there much. Okay.
No, but I am excited for all the like food changes, especially when it comes to the dye foods, because now I'm not going to be the heinous mother that's always constantly forbidding my child from eating things. And I'm so unfair because I'm not allowing him to have chemicals that make him suicidal. Like such a terrible snack dealer. Fair.
Yeah.
We need a tagline.
I don't know.
Yeah, I think listeners need to participate.
Snack dealers, homicidal, suicidal. I don't know. It's gonna
None
be
of
bad.
those work. That's not good.
I mean, it would be bad.
We need a tagline with embracing the wild, and we need listeners to contribute their viewpoints. Make comments below. Start contributing to what embracing the wild like we need a tagline. So let's get that started.
Okay.
Like
a tagline for the whole podcast, not a tagline.
Yes. Right, like a closeout, like when we're done with the show. Like we start the show with you giggling like a nut job. We're going to end the show with some kind of tagline. Or I'm going to start saying like, don't be a deranged pumpkin, and then end it. It's a little too gangster for me. It's a little too gangster. I was like, no.
Yeah. I was like, you just did it. That's why I was like, oh, Abby just went to Chicago.
But I was from the Chicago suburbs. It doesn't really count. Like that doesn't count as city girl. That just counts as like Chi-town.
I was gonna say when I do it, it looks ridiculous. When you do it, it's kind of like Abby just went to Chicago.
Actually, that is how we met. The nutritionist that used to work in your office saw me get up and speak, and you're like, she's from the city. Like in 2 seconds. And she's like, New York or Chicago? And I was like, Chicago. And she's like, okay, I think you will pass. I need to meet you for coffee. And I was like, okay. And then after that meeting, I got just drilled with questions for like 15 minutes, like drilled. I was like, shit, I'm sweating. Am I on an interview? Like, what is happening? I thought we were just meeting for matcha. Like, and it turned into like a whole what's your philosophy on this? What's your philosophy on that? And I was just like, and then I started hearing okay, because my partner, I think we need to, and then I realized like, oh, you're a preliminary introduction to the Mac Daddy. Like and then I was like, oh snap, who is this person? Yeah. That is pretty funny. It was like now you can meet the Wizard of Oz now. Like you have gained access to take time in the worldly Watley environment. Like
I love it though that my people protect me, because it's like it's like I kind of like being the vulnerable, fluffy, soft, delicate flower.
I honestly, I think I love the fact that they protect you. I don't think they realize what I would drag you into.
Which I went willingly, so whatever.
Wait a minute. Didn't we have an old tagline that we said like, embrace your like, rawr? What did we do? Didn't we used to do something like that?
I haven't gone back and listened to see.
I've never listened to anything that we've done before, so
Yeah.
I don't know.
I have. I kind of get the giggles again.
We'll just close out with that today. Bye, deranged pumpkin.